Welcome back, everybody, to a look at another film in the Inside the Mind of Coffin Joe box set. So, unfortunately, we've had to skip over to the fifth film in this series because the fourth film, The Awakening of the Beast, has issues with the disc. Basically, once it gets to the 32-minute mark, the subtitles vanish and they do not come back. Not sure if our video are aware of this. I have messaged them on Twitter to tell them about this, but yeah, that is obviously a big flaw in a film that is foreign language. I unfortunately don't speak Portuguese, so I don't have a clue what they're saying once those subtitles vanish. Obviously, gain some knowledge of what is going on in the film via the actions of the actors and their expressions and whatnot, but to watch a film like that, you need the subtitles. So, yeah, unfortunately, I cannot review The Awakening of the Beast. So, we've had to skip forward slightly to The End of Man from 1971. So, this is a black comedy of all things, despite the the three that I've seen being horror films. I'm not sure what The Awakening of the Beast is going to be like in terms of its entirety. But yeah, this clock's at 79 minutes long, and it's about a stark naked man who comes out from the sea and begins to walk the streets, interfering in daily episodes, always in search of justice. He names himself Finis Hominis, the end of man in Latin, and soon becomes a sort of modern messiah, capable of performing miracles. An adulterous woman and a cheated husband are among his most faithful followers, as well as a group of hippies. So, unlike the prior films from the director that were horror and quite dark in their themes and violence, this isn't anything like that. There's no real violence to it. There's only a bit of a scene with some blood on a girl that he ends up helping to be healed. But that's most of the violence you're really going to see in this. As yeah, this is a satirical effort with a loose plot in terms of its characters who come and go with ease. But the through line in this is solid, with a satisfying conclusion to the seemingly incoherent aspects that come before it. As yeah, the plot is quite sporadic. Like I said, characters come in and out of it with no real reason for why they've suddenly disappeared or why this man is, wandering around. But like I said, it all comes to a head in its conclusion, and yeah, manages to be satisfying as a result of that. The director is also good in the lead role. It is well paced. I love seeing 1970s Brazil in colour, although strangely there are several scenes in black and white. Not sure whether or not they're scenes that were shot after the fact or the budget does run out, so they filmed these lesser scenes in black and white only because they weren't quite as cinematic. So yeah, that's kind of a bit of a weird aspect to this, that it should suddenly shift to black and white. But yeah, really like seeing Brazil in colour, and yeah, the amount of Volkswagen Beetles that are on the streets of I think it's set in Sao Paulo is ridiculous. Literally 9 out of 10 cars that you'll see on the screen are VW Beetles, and it is quite mad. But yeah, it's also engrossing despite having some inconsistent elements to it, and there are some funny moments to it as well. So yeah, really rather quite an odd film, to be honest. It's really hard to sum up entirely because, like I said, there's black comedy elements to it, there's satirical elements to it, there's themes about, following people that seemingly have this power and this, ability to do these things. And if you've seen the end of the film, you know why that kind of element is really rather quite funny and, yeah, satisfying in that regard. So, yeah, shares the disc with The Awakening of the Beast, which, like I said, unfortunately we can't review right now because I can't see the entirety of the film. But yeah, The End of Man was overall a decent enough film. I give it 3.5 out of 5. So it's had a brand new 4K restoration from the original 35mm camera negative. We've got original lossless mono audio for both films from 35mm prints. Optional English subtitles, although only for 1/3 of one of the films at the very least. And yeah, in terms of, yeah, we've got archive audio commentary for The End of Man with the director Paulo Duarte and Carlos Primati in Portuguese with English subtitles. Then we've got the Strange Mind of Coffin Joe, a new interview with author Guy Adams exploring the esoteric aspects of Jose Mojica Marins. Then we've got A Woman for Joe, a new video essay by film scholar Alexandra Heller Nicholas exploring the complex gender politics of Marin's filmography. Then we've got theatrical trailers with both films that are newly scanned from the original 35mm negative. So, yeah, it's a big shame that The Awakening of the Beast has such a monumental flaw to its disc. You would have thought through quality control alone, you'd have one person just watch the film throughout and they'd have easily flagged the fact that the subtitles blip out at 32 minutes, because there's no excuse for subtitles to not be wholly present on a foreign language film. It's just completely idiotic for that to happen, for that to slip through the net, especially given, the one of the extras being optional English subtitles, and clearly that is not an extra in its full on one of the films. So, yeah, really disappointing, especially when you consider this box set was £90. So it's not a cheap box set by any means. It's only about £30 or £25 shy of the Shore Scope releases, which have more films in them and are in more impressive box packaging. So yeah, big shame that that film doesn't have the full subtitles. But The End of Man is a really rather decent effort, despite being a massive departure from the three films that we all have been able to fully review. So yeah, well worth watching. It is a interesting first watch. Not something that I could see myself watching perhaps again, unless someone else wants to watch it with me. But yeah, regardless, still a decent enough effort, and definitely better than the third film, which was that really rather inconsistent anthology horror film. Nonetheless, though, thank you for watching. If you have seen this film before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.